folks. Welcome back to the Anfield Dream podcast. And what a game! What a game! What a statement win, but also a few concerns. Right off the bat, watching the impact on Jota. I'm hoping it's just an hyperextension, but it does not look good. It does not look good at all. I'm just hoping for the best because he has been phenomenal and he's such a talent. He's had such horrible luck with injuries. I'm just hoping this is not one of those things. I'm hoping he's okay. As far as Curtis, it looks like a raked Achilles. Uh, I'm hoping there's no permanent damage there. That it's just once again just a bruising, and he's back soon. But that doesn't look good either. As far as Nunez, we know he's had it looked to be a metatarsal situation going on from a couple of games ago, and he's played through the pain. And hopefully it was just precautionary, taking him off. But Gakpo filled in very, very well. But these are three key players for the squad. It was good to see Mo back. And so, well, let's get into it. Um, I really liked the choice of what I saw. I was happy to see Bradley in there. Obviously, also, Ali. Uh, that same looks. It appears to be the same hamstring he suffered a little bit earlier this season, but he wasn't out long. Hopefully, it's just a minor, something not like a grade one, something that he can come back really quick. But Kelleher, obviously, stepped up and did his thing, and but still, Ali is Ali. So, starting with Kelleher, it's he did an admirable job, and he had some very, very good key saves. His distribution was good. Um, the only difference I would see in some of the situations where potentially, I mean, it was it was quite the velocity and the strikes were good, but in certain areas where he chose to parry, I think Allison would have probably gloved it, but that's just been very harsh. But other than that, I think Keller had a solid performance. His vision, his distribution, all that, like I said, was strong. Um, Going straight to the middle, Konate. I'm glad to see him just doing his thing. But I got to give major props to Virgil van Dijk. Captain stepped it up, was imperious, was commanding, had the troops, organized. Very, very impressed. And going to the left, Robo is back. His touch is going to get only better. He's going to be raising levels. He has many levels to go to, but it was really, really good to see him. I mean, all round game. There was great balance on the left, and then Bradley on the right, great balance. I was pleased to see, Bradley inverting and getting involved, and the switches he and Robo were doing. It was a lot like Trent and Robo, but it's more like Robo and Robo. It's like we have two Robos, one on the left, one on the right. It's pretty spectacular stuff. Except the one on the right now does some inversion as well. So I was very, very pleased with the back line. The back line overall, the unit. I mean, they played like a unit. It was good to see. Coming down to the mid. Now this is what really, really, really pleased me. Obviously, they've been working hard at it. I mean, they were purring. Maka, I mean, and Endo have, getting that understanding. It's going to be tough. We have some good players, Sobo plays on that side. We got some good players that can fill in those areas, and he'll be back soon. But I mean, that three were phenomenal. Curtis was everywhere. What control! It just ball retention and vision, and I mean, it was. Like I said, I was very concerned, with the raking off that Achilles. I'm hoping it's just a bruising and he'll be able to bounce back very soon because we need Curtis. But that was concerning. But he was just purring, and Endo sweeping it up, butting up people. He had a couple of moments, but that goes with it. But you see the touches, the control, the vision, the short passes, the interceptions, the tackles. Yeah, it's just sometimes it's like Endo, don't get a double yell and get. It's just come on, samurai. But it was good to see Endo just being Endo, and that understanding is growing, and that's going to be very hard midfield to displace. There's so much talent in the middle. And of course, Elliott coming on later. Energizer Bunny is always pressing, outright pressing, and the one-touch passes and the all of it. And when Curtis went down, My big surprise, who I'm very, very pleased, was Ryan. Ryan stepped up. He was doing the drop of the shoulder, the gliding, the passing, the the 1-2s. It's just he stepped up. I was very and it's just he just needs to bulk up a little more, get a little bit stronger. But he stepped up. I mean, I was very, very pleased with Ryan's effort. Coming there into the midfield and keeping things going. The front line, that first goal, oh my goodness, Jota, what an incredible header, what vision. And then that sublime dink by Nunes. These guys are purring, they are purring. But then the unfortunate, the fall and the impact. Um, I was taking a look at that leg as well. In addition to the impact, he had also had this clear evidence of a raking on that knee. It looked like at some point in time, maybe even prior to that, he might have caught a high challenge or studs. There was definitely a raking on that same leg, and then but he Jota just soldiers on. But then it's just the way it fell. It's the knee buckled and hyperextended the wrong way, and that's never good because there's oh my goodness, I don't want to even go there. ACL, PCL. I mean, then you have the whole, you have the collaterals, and then you have the patella. I mean, anything could have been hyperextended. I'm just hoping it's a hyperextension and not a rupture of any kind. I'm really hoping for his sake. But when he got up and he couldn't do pressure, he had to put pressure on that knee and it'd get back right down. That does not look good, but I'm just praying, hoping it is just a hyperextension and he'll be able to come back. But it does not look good. It's very concerning, and because Jota has been on fire, and it's just very, very sad. And Diaz, he had a very, very productive, early afternoon. I liked his indomitable spirit taken on. I wish he would be a little bit more aggressive and go inside out, and just like the Diaz that came in a couple of years ago, and he's getting there. He has that in his locker, but I really wanted him to score again. But it's just hey, it's he did great. He did great, and then Mo coming on, it's like he never left. He does two goal contributions. Deft assists, and then what a put away. I mean, what a put away. Mo, I mean, it's just good to see him. And obviously, he's healed well. He's fit. He needs to get a nice rub done, ice bath, all that. Take a look, make sure there's no swelling, no nothing there. Make sure that hamstring is looking strong. But it was good to see Mo back and immediately back on the board. And then Gakko coming in and doing, getting his goal there at the end. So the only blemish I saw here was the situation, with that goal. Like I said, it's but I can't fault Keller. I mean, he's done phenomenal, and I know he will step up. And just hope Allison gets back soon, much sooner than later. The only thing that's left that they need to focus on is the very next game and nothing else, and that's Luton at home, and just keep this thing going. And hopefully, the injuries, aren't that severe. But my biggest concern, is Jota. I'm just hoping it isn't what I think it is. I'm just hoping it's just a hyperextension, which he can recover from, but it does not look good. And with the other boys, just hoping they come back soon. Sobel was very close. He's already been, doing his routine on the pitch, and recovery and all that. We need our entire squad. But what a performance. As you can see, I've got some of my tactical stuff out to share and show you, and I'm going to be doing more of this later, and just talking strategies and tactics and formations, and depending on personnel and depending on who you're facing, and as far as this game goes, I mean, it was just in flying colors. I mean, it was working beautifully. You could see in how Nunes he was being that number 9 and just drawing people to him, which opened up the flanks. And we saw how successful that was. We saw Endo doing his thing, just going side to side. And of course, Maka was able to do that. Even that deft finish and goal. What a goal by Maka. He was able to, and because when they go forward, you saw Mo drop back, right, and he got the assist on that, and then with Bradley doing the inversion, you know, and there's good balance, good cover, so Robo can come back and they could do a three there, but predominantly he would just come back and do a cover if there was a counter, but and of course Bradley did his thing as well, and then later when Joey came on, it was fairly solid from both sides as well, and Joey was also doing a little bit of a little bit of that inversion. But these two guys were solid. He was playing being Allison is a phenomenal sweeper keeper, but Kelleher was doing his thing. The one time when there was a chip, he was a little caught up, but he was able to come back and make sure the ball was going over his shoulder. So that's it's just I there was never a concern. Everybody just because Liverpool is so aggressive. But I did want that clean sheet. I saw the frustration with Kelleher when he didn't get the clean sheet, and but it's just I'm very 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 pleased overall. I'm very happy about this. His constant bombs, his coming in, his cutting across, even when he did a switch and Bradley went there. That's old school Robo and old school Trent, and I was so happy to see that. I was like, Bradley, man, that kid is just something else. And it was just I was very very pleased. And when I talk with the dynamic triangles, you were seeing a lot of that. You can see where all over the park, there all that was going on. So they're very very capable of doing keep away and doing lots of one touches and opening things up. And so sometimes they do an overload, and ball comes in, or Diaz does a wraparound, and you see that. And so it was very fluid. I was very very happy, but the midfield, man, is just when Curtis coming back, and him dropping back with those great defensive instincts and good close quarter, control of the ball. Cody also had some real good close quarter control of the ball, and so I was very very pleased to see him. It was almost playing a combination of a nine and a false, but it was you could see the skill set, you could see what he could develop into. He has a lot of it in his locker, a lot of his confidence, but now he's in double figures with goals, and so that's basically. I think Luchos is the only one who's is a goal or two away from double, but the entire front line now is in double figures in goals, and of course with goal contributions, I think they're all in double figures now with assist and goal ratios. So I got to check, the numbers on Lucho, but everybody else, I'm very certain that they're all in doubles. And anyway, guys, like all in all, I was very, 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 very happy with the performance. It's obviously with the potential of Xavi, being our next coach. We'll see how that goes. But I've been also watching how he sets up his teams, and he sets it up a little different. He's more like that, and take this guy out. He's more of that, right? And so it's similar to how what City does, where it's a lot of ticky-tacky, one touch, rapid passing, ball control, ball retention, and then cut in. So it's not that very different because if you take this guy out and go back to how Liverpool sets up, it's not that very different. It's just because they have fullbacks that can do that, and so if in fact Xabi wants to be our next coach, it should be fairly next manager for Liverpool. It should be fairly seamless because he has obviously a very very talented squad to work with. It just depends. I'm hoping we get the contract situation sorted out. When Trent gets healthy again, it's going to be very interesting because I would definitely keep Bradley here. Bradley is phenomenal. It's going to be. It'll either have to be some kind of change in system to accommodate him, or one of these spots, you'll have to bring him in because Trent is more of this, right? Say if he comes in on the right, let's presume that. So you go to a double, and he's going to be going and being a quarterback and just pinging passes from all over the place, and he's going to be an absolute nightmare for defenders because they'll have to double up on him, and every time they double up on him, it's going to create an overload. And if they double up on here, it mows through. If they double up on here, Nunes, Diaz, or whoever is on the front line is through. And so that's going to be very, very exciting. And then of course you have I would probably see if that happens. I would have Endo and Maka, Endo still playing the 6, Maka doing an 8 or a 10 role, and then Trent just being that provided distributor, more of a kind of like what De Bruyne does, more of a quarterback, and just pinging stuff in, and that would be absolutely devastating to whoever the opponent is. So that little blip that was the Arsenal deal, it's stuff happens. They're just stuff happens. Well, they're clearly over that. They're back 5 points ahead. We'll see what the other guys do, but all we don't have to concern ourselves about anybody else. All we got to do is concern ourselves about what we do. Get healthy, stay strong, keep working hard. Be very, 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 very disciplined. And talking about discipline, there are 4 things. If you look at any elite team, there are 4 things that players in an elite team, regardless of discipline, whether it's football, whether from a military perspective, or whether it's a corporate perspective, there are 4 factors that really matter. All right, and all right. So early on, okay. E basically is when you're talking about absolute elite teams. The whole unit, not the individual whole unit. They have to have emotional fortitude. I mean, no matter if when you look at, especially from a military perspective, you're literally put under so much duress to see if you can be broken. So you train extremely hard, and to anticipate the worst possible situation when it comes, to the battlefield, right? And so with top elite teams, whatever the discipline is, that is very, very strong. When you get into the head of your opponent, they start losing it. They at times, when a player, like say a striker, gets frustrated, and it's just the disciplined striker would say, all right, I don't care what they've done, I'm not going to do something petulant. A frustrated striker, and we all get it, it's no blame. What does he do? He kicks the ball out. Boom, yellow card. And then it's, and the manager goes, why? The managers do this, don't let them get in your head, concentrate. So emotional strength is very strong, especially when you're under pressure. It's say you're under heavy pressure, everybody comes back. Everybody comes back and does their role. You see the wingers coming back and doing that, and you're having your outlet to spring a counter, right? So everybody plays a role, and there's defense, offense across the board. The next side that we look, especially on the absolute elite level, is S stands for spiritual. Now, this what's huge about this is people who have a connection, have that connection. Basically, they play as a unit, not as an individual. People, there's so much talent everywhere, but you see it clearly in very elite teams where if an individual is all about himself or herself, or whatever the situation might be. It's like it's all about them. I'm the main person here. Get it to me, whatever. And then it's so much talent, so many superstars, but no team. And these they can have fun, flicks and tricks and some entertaining stuff, but chances of them actually winning, very, very slim unless they figure out, because when you have that spiritual connection, it's not about you, it's about the entire unit, and everybody has that understanding, and they will do whatever it takes to make sure, that the team as a whole is successful. And it's not about individual glory. It's about the team. It's about the team. Right. And so that's very important. The next side is mental. We talk about, Klopp talks about being mentality, monsters, right? The mental part is your mental discipline. It's, are you a student of the game? How much time are you putting studying? Who is your scout? You have multiple scouts. Usually the captain, usually the goalie. The scouting starts with the keeper here. In this case, we have a very strong personality analysis, and of course, Verge right here. So they're constantly scouting. and letting people know, hey, do this, do that, and then you have basically, the coaches also scouting. Then you have players who are on the bench studying the game, every single action, scouting, and so if they're called upon, they know exactly what their role is and who they need to attack and what they need to play. And when the coaches, when they're dialed in mentally, when the coach says, the coach knows they already got it, right? The coach knows they already got it, so they will dial in there mentally, and then finally, it's the physical side. It's you absolutely have to take care of your body. I mean, I know the very best athletes when they are engaged, the highest level. Like I said, in this case, we're talking football, but at the highest level, when they're engaged, they take absolute, ultimate care of their body. They train well, they eat well. Sports science, it's they when they're engaged, there's zero chemical consumption, whether alcohol, whatever it is. It's absolute discipline, and hydration, all of it. It's just they work on all their muscle groups. They get faster, jump higher. They do whatever it takes, and it's not just the sessions that the whole team does. They do sessions on their own with personal stuff, and so when you have an elite operator that has all of this in place, whatever the role is, it's going to be very, very difficult for for opposing sides. Say they have somebody who's a wild card on the opposing side, and say you have it's somebody on the opposing side trying to break in and do whatever it is, but they're not strong here. They have a weakness in any one of these areas. The unit will absolutely take advantage of that, and so that's why it's called a team sport. Obviously, there's so much talent. Everybody at the professional level is extremely talented. I mean, to get into a club like Liverpool, you are extremely gifted. You are, or you wouldn't even be considered. I mean, it's just how it is with top pouring teams. And this is why people are like, it's just we haven't heard much of this. Where these people come from, I mean, it's just like seamless. You bring in the kids and it's seamless because they are being trained, and they watch the senior players, and they train with the same system, same intensity, same everything, and they are basically here, right? Sports science, psychology science, I mean, all the physical, the mental, the spiritual, all of it is covered here. And they're basically taught to, hey, it's not about the individual, it's about the entire unit as a whole. It's about breaking it down, the back line as their own unit, how they make sure they're talking. It's about the middle of the pitch, make sure they're talking. It's about the forwards, make sure they're talking. And that's going horizontally. When you're going down the spine, it's about the spine communicating, the diagonals communicating. On defense, it's basically these guys coming in. You have protection on the ball and everybody coming back. You have protection on the ball, everybody coming back, and depending on where the attack is, you always have an outlet position there. Now, how many times have you seen say if this were Trent, he coming back in here and getting a tackle or getting there a tackle? And of course, in the sixth row, we see Endo doing that, or McAllister, whoever's playing that role. And so, this is where, as a unit, that's how you get strong sides, right? And it doesn't matter what the tactics are. It doesn't matter what the what the other team is doing. It's everybody knows what they set up as. But during the game, I mean, you will see you will see formation changes. You will see guy going up there, these guys coming down, and then they go to a double, and and you see movement forward, or you see McAllister rolling in the chip. He comes around and boom, drop of the shoulder, and it's in the back of the neck, right back of the net. So you see all of this happening, at a high level, and that's what I call being dynamic. All the dynamic triangles. When a team has that close understanding, and everybody's playing as a unit, it is a beautiful thing to watch. And when that happens, you see a lot of the game, people go, why is Liverpool play such a high line? They play such a high line because they're playing as a unit. They're so disciplined. Literally, the high line is not in their half. The high line wasn't Brentford's half. And every once in a while, you might get somebody trying to chip it over and come across. But then they're disciplined for discipline, where when these guys push up for attack, guess what? How many times did you see, Bradley on one side and maybe Curtis, And then when there's a break, these guys bomb back. These guys cover them, which, and then if you see that, and then and obviously they hold it up, give it enough time for the center backs to get back, and now you have an outlet. It's a counter press, boom, 1-on-1, most goals. Beautiful, beautiful football, dynamism, everybody understanding, playing as a unit. That's how football's supposed to be played. And anyway, guys, it's just very encouraging. I'm happy to see. I'm just, very, very concerned about, obviously Ali is huge. I'm hoping, it looks like a recurrence of the same thing he suffered early in the season. And he came back very strong. He's a quick healer. I'm hoping it's just like Jurgen, or when they were addressed, he said they try to catch things very, very early, and they basically, because any athlete I know, I've been there. It's like your mind's telling you, hey, I got this, and you're begging the coach, let me continue. But when you have good management, if once the guys on the pitch learn and understand these four things: the emotional, the spiritual, the mental, the physical side, that they're playing as a unit and not an individual. It's they swallow their pride, or whatever their compulsion is, saying that, hey, I can do this. But they say, no, just get me off. You get somebody else in, right? And so that because they're thinking about not their own accolades and their own glory and their own drive and desire to continue and further aggravate the injury, but they're thinking as a team. So for the betterment of the team, and that's what happens here. And so I'm hoping Ali comes back. I'm really, really hoping it's just a raked Achilles and not more than that. For Curtis, and he bounces right back. You can get ice it, treat it, whatever, arrested. The Luton game is right around the corner. I don't know. It's just, we'll see who can come back for that. And then, of course, it's Nunes. It's hopefully it's just precautionary. I mean, he got his goal, but once again, I watched the mechanics. The musculoskeletal and the mechanics. It looks like that same foot again, and I'm hoping that's just precautionary. But my biggest concern is Jota. And because Diogo is so vital and so key and so important. Good to see Mo coming back from injury and just like he never left. Just Mo doing Mo things. I remember the one time when he just absolutely embarrassed one of those players when he did a little 1 foot drag drop switch and wrap around. It's just Mo doing Mo things, just embarrassing the defense. I mean, his foot speed and his high football IQ is just beautiful to watch. And they're starting to get their swag back on. And when Liverpool gets their swag on and they start purring, a 60, 70, 80% efficiency of the team, they're today I would say around 50, 60, maybe high 60s as efficiencies. I guess they're learning to play, but certain areas, the middle for sure, they were like 70s, 80s today. And the offense, I'd say closer to the 60s. The back, was solid. I'd say 60s, 70s. And Kelleher did this thing, and he was operating at a high level, which we expect from the best, number 2 on the planet. But he's no Allison, right? But he's still a phenomenal keeper, and so grateful we have him. And hopefully, I know we want to see him do great and get a number 1 spot somewhere, for his own sake and his career. But as long as he's able to stay with us, we'll take that. It's on to our next match, which is going to be at home, and just get the job done. There's only one team that's concerning us, and that's Luton. We're going to get the job done. Focus on that. Focus on healing. Focus on resting. And the squad is deep. The squad is healthy. There's tremendous talent. The squad understands the system. They are playing as a unit. They're playing as a unit, and not as individuals. That's why Liverpool is potent, and they scare everybody. Anyway, guys, just hoping prayers for recovery with our boys. They've done well. And like I said, my biggest concern is Diogo, and just hoping, it's not a major, season-ending kind of deal. I'm really hoping it's not, but I'm hoping it's just a hyperextension, but it doesn't look good. It doesn't look good. So anyway, guys, it's onward forward we go, and I will try to get more content in. I suffer from severe migraines, and sometimes it was pretty rough today actually. But I just I love Liverpool, and it's no matter what, I'll always be in their corner. and looking forward to great things. And let's keep pushing on. All right, make sure you share, you like, you subscribe. It helps. It helps the channel grow. It helps the algorithm. And there's so many other great channels out there. I love watching the boys at Redmond TV. They're fabulous. And I like watching the boys with Coppish as well. I got to give them a shout out. It's it's the banter is hilarious, and sometimes I get irritated with all three of them. But it's like, oh, who's going to be the crazy one today? But I like them all though. It's just. I mean, I just love the banter with those boys and them, chopping it up. And of course, Cop TV. I mean, I got to give those boys, a shout out to, and I check out, some of the opposition every once in a while to see, what the banter is, because it just humors me. It just tickles me to see reactions from the enemy, if you will. And but there's so many great channels out there. But out there, as far as Liverpool goes, and of course, LFC TV. It's like, guys. I mean, I feel so blessed. For most of my life, I just got drips and drops, and finally, I'm actually able to watch an entire season and watch games, and now the ability, the opportunity to look at and give my reaction and voice my opinion, on what I see, not just as a former player, but also as a former coach, and a mentor, and understanding, systems, understanding the psychology, understanding how elite teams operate, and not necessarily the average fan just looks at stuff, and they instinctively know what they think is right, what they think is wrong. A lot of them are obviously very opinionated, and emotions are high and raw, when statements are made, and these people in and those people out. I mean, when they're great, they're in. When they're not so great, they're out. You can't have this oscillation. It's just, it's we're working with fellow human beings. And but the boys always, they did us proud today, and just concerned for the injury situation. So anyway, we'll talk soon, guys, and I hope to bring more to you, very soon, and start breaking out, various systems, and show you how systems work, and the constant fluidity and the changes in systems, during the game. And if I'm able to chop up and go, stage by stage, show all the various nuances of how defensively, offensively, your horizontal zones, how that your vertical zones, your diagonals, all that, the what I call the dynamic triangles, all of that, and the quick one to touch, just rapid, that's why they do rondos all the time, is for that very purpose. It's just thinking, in nanoseconds, making the right choice, right decision, and just opening up, cutting up, the opposition. So that's what it's all about. But guys, you be blessed. You'll never walk alone. We'll talk soon. We'll never walk alone. Let's go, Liverpool. Let's do this.